Hi, I've gone through some of my paperbacks because I reorganised them recently, and I've come across some books that I haven't looked at or read for a very, very long time. Some of them were in storage with my father for about 4 or 5 years when I moved house, and some of them I just haven't seen. I mean, they've been under piles of other books or kind of hidden away. And I think it's really great. It's a lovely thing to revisit books that, really meant a lot to you when you read them. Or sometimes, you'd read them and actually couldn't get your head around what they were trying to say and couldn't make out what the story was about or what the text was all about. So it's always quite good, I think, to revisit some of those books sometimes. I did belong to a kind of spiritual reading group about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And we would choose books that were they were not religious, but they certainly were books, kind of new agey type of books that would open your mind to different types of philosophy. And one of the books that we read was The Power of Now by Erkhart Tolle. And it's an old book, and I've had it for a very long time. And there's a bit in here which just caught my eye as I was just looking through it just now quietly. It's about surrendering in personal relationships. I'll just kind of give a little preface to that, because when I was younger, I was always a yes person. I was always the person that if anybody was looking for a volunteer, it would be me. Who wants to be the captain of the netball team? Me. Who wants to make cakes for the fundraiser? Me. Who wants to, I don't know, have 25 children back after school because the teachers have got a meeting? Me. And I always did it. And I always said yes, 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 yes. Even if I didn't want to do it. And even if I really worried about it beforehand and I'd be stressing about it, or I'd try and cram it into my day because I'd said yes when really I should have said no, and I should have been very firm about it. And because I was always a complete sort of softie, and I always had the space in my family house when the kids were growing up and it was near the school, I'd always be the go-to person that would be making spaghetti bolognese for 25 children after school. So yes, it was always a bit chaotic, and I'd always say yes. And now I'm much better at saying no. And I think what's really great is when I watch my children and they're so sure of themselves, and they just say, no, I'm not doing that. Or not to me, they're really pretty compliant with me, but if there's something they don't want to do, they're very sort of, I can't do that, there's no way I can do that, and they will explain why, and they'll be very sure about it. And I think that's a brilliant asset to have, because when you're the kind of person that says yes the whole time, everyone just takes advantage of you, and they don't think, oh, Lisa will do it, she'll do it, she doesn't mind, she's got the time, she can afford to, or blah blah blah, whatever it is. And I've done so many things for so many people, and I've been promised, oh, I'll pay for your flight, or I'll pay for your accommodation, or I'll pay for your car hire, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. Nothing's happened, and I've just kind of let it go, and that's not going to happen anymore. Watch this space, it's not happening anymore. So I think saying no, a very firm and affirmative no, is a really good thing. So I'm just going to read this because it really made me think, actually, this is good advice. And I will read it to you. It's very short. Surrender in personal relationships. What about people who want to use me, manipulate or control me? Am I to surrender to them? That's the question. They are cut off from being, so they unconsciously attempt to get energy and power from you. It is true that only an unconscious person will try to use or manipulate others, but it is equally true that only an unconscious person can be used and manipulated. If you resist or fight unconscious behaviour in others, you become unconscious yourself. But surrender doesn't mean that you allow yourself to be used by unconscious people. No, not at all. It is perfectly possible to say no firmly and clearly to a person, or to walk away from a situation and be in a state of complete inner non-resistance at the same time. When you say no to a person or a situation, let it not come from reaction, but from insight, from a clear realization of what is right or not right for you at that moment. Let it be a non-reactive no, a high quality no, a no that is free of all negativity and so creates no further suffering. So yeah, I actually agree with that. I think it's really important to sort of have a really strong affirmative no if you really don't want to do something, and just to sort of put your foot down in a positive way, if that makes any sense, so that that person's feelings don't get hurt, or you can just sort of nip it in the bud before it becomes a, oh, let me think about it, oh, well, I'm not sure, oh, well, I don't know, I might be able to squeeze you in between 3:30 and 4:30 if I can get through the traffic and pick up your paintings for you. No, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy that afternoon, I can't do it. And I think I've become a lot more like that. I'm a lot more like that these days. I think it's very, very important to retain control of your time and your energy. And if you think about time as money, think about time as costing something to you, not as money, because don't think about it in terms of monetary value. Think about time as being valuable, as a valuable commodity that you have. And I'm sorry, but that time is my time. And if people want something and it's really important and I'm really happy to do it, obviously, yes, 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 obviously I'll do it. Absolutely, no problem at all. But if it's something that I cannot do, if it's something that is outside my comfort zone, if it's something that is just one push too far from that person or those people, then it's going to be an affirmative no. N-O. I like to say yes a lot though, that's my problem. So I've got to really teach myself to be no and stick to it. Anyway, lots of love. Bye bye.